Hello, ladies, hello. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. And for those of you that are going to watch later, thank you for listening. My name is Janie Daly. Now, as far as what I do, you know, I was watching some show a couple weeks ago, and the lady went on with, oh, I do this and I do this. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious, she sounds like me. Because what I do, my work is different. And I can definitely say that if you've had readings with me in the past, my readings are different. And I'm going to say better. Um, with time, when I was younger, I would always be like, oh, I can't wait to get older. I didn't know I said it, but I honestly did say that. I'll never forget. I was in my 20s, right? But I meant it. And then later on, I was saying I want to be older because you're wiser and your intuition is greater and you have a better understanding of life. You guys, it's so true. So true. But I do readings, and in our readings, we talk about everything. And I will tell you this, okay? Yes, I'm very intuitive, very much so. But, don't ask me, oh, why'd you ask your name? My name, you should know that. Come on. I'm talking about important things. You know what I mean? Like really important things. Your life, your relationship, your career, financial. That's all really, really important. And besides, suppose you had 50 lives. Which name did you want me to name? Because we talk about past lives too. But anyway, so I do animal communications. I love the animal communications. I'm also a medium. I am able to connect with people on the other side. And I do want to introduce you to your divine family, which we will talk about that in your reading as well. A lot of you may already know, but your divine family is, first of all, I highly recommend that you choose a faith. Please choose a faith. You just have to have like someone that has your back. Okay? For me, my divine family is God, Jesus, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. I'm going to say like a lot of the archangels, and it's a long list, but I'm not going to bore you with that. A lot of the archangels, a lot of angels, saints, and then a lot of my deceased loved ones, and it's pets and people. But what I do, instead of naming everyone, because thoughts are everything, we think that we have to name everything like verbally. No, you think it, they get it. Okay? So your divine family are those beings who are with you each and every day. And trust me when I tell you, they are with you each and every day. And if you're feeling lonely, let them in. I always recommend that you surround yourself with the white light of the Holy Spirit, always. But, the reason I'm saying also pick a faith because you want to be safe. It's a spiritual war. There's other beings who want your soul. You know what I mean? And will offer you really nice things, but you can have nice things too by being a light worker. I like to say that I'm a Christian, but I don't know, the terminology of that doesn't really appeal to me anymore because I just feel that as a light worker, I do the same thing as a Christian would do. I have a very strong faith in God, as I've just told you, but I believe that God loves you. I believe that God just wants us to be kind to everybody. I'm positive, and this is from conversations with God, ever since I was a little girl, and I'm sure beyond, but I'm talking about this life right now. God doesn't care who you sleep with. Because you guys, really, when we go home, we leave this body. And the body comes with a gender. You notice like everybody has male and female energies? Notice that? It's because we've had past lives. I've been a man before. I have been different races, different cultures. The soul, when it leaves the body, imagine it's like a light. It's just a light. The body, gone. Now, For you to be able to communicate with your deceased loved ones, it works this way. And your divine family, they all do it this way. What you're not afraid of is how they will appear to you. And if you remember let's say your child will appear to you as you know them or how you know and knew them in this life. Same with God, same with Jesus. Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael has a pretty similar appearance that he does appear to everybody. He'll have massive wings. And that's how I knew when I was younger that was the angel that was going to protect me because of his big wings. And then, oh my gosh, there was even times, not kidding you, I would say that I was scared. And all of a sudden I feel like a wing, like flap. Archangel Michael, can you stop flapping? The cold's going in my ears. I'm serious. But don't be afraid. You are so loved. So loved. And I'm doing that because this year, you guys, go into that. Go into this new year, okay? It's 2026. 1 year. It's a 1 year. All right? Because if you so the 2 plus 2, 6, and of course the 0, but it adds to 1, to 10 equals a 1, okay? You always break it down to a singular number, a singular digit. So it actually comes to a 10, but 1 plus 0 equals 1. It's a 1 year. And I recommend to find your number. Find your own personal number. Because you don't want to change something about yourself that might irritate you or somebody else if that's a part of who you are. And, there's a lot of things for those of you, who have had readings with me when I tell you, because, I go into this psychology, astrology, the whole bit in simple language, though. What might be a pitfall, like, for instance, I may get that you are domineering. Can be bad or good depending on how you use it. That's kind of like anything in life. That can be bad or good. Domineering, though, is somebody who's going to get up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm going to accomplish this today. And I don't care what happens. I am going to get it done. Domineering. Or domineering somebody, too, who wants to stand up for themselves because they're tired of being walked on. It's okay. So not always bad. It can be good and bad. Hello, those of you who have Miss Karen, hey. And Arnold, Artie, how are you? Okay, you guys. So, your divine family, always with you. And when you get lonely or depressed, if you feel like nobody's with you, ask for a sign. Ask for a sign. Things will appear 3 times or more. Doesn't have to even be 3 times. It could just be 1 time, but when they tell you something, it really resonates. I mean, I know there's sometimes when I see a sign from somebody who I knew who has passed, it'll bring like tears to my eyes because I remember exactly like the last time that this person and I spoke about that, and it's nice. But you have to be open, okay? 1 year, brand new beginnings, you guys. Brand new. I am going to ask, before I continue, I do ask to recommend me, subscribe. Please help my subscribers to rise. It's very hard to do that, right? Schedule your reading, change your life, and I do say that. I say it, I mean it, and I can tell you, I can help you. We talk about everything in your reading, everything. Oh, that's what I started to say before, too. If there is something that you had done, okay. Oh, yeah, I started to go, but I went on a tangent about knowing your name or something. If there's something that you have done, but you don't want to tell me, then you don't have to. Unless you have a loved one around you who says to me, ask him or ask her about this. And I do it with respect. And I can tell you, I am very private. I mean, that's part of why I have a hard time doing like the YouTube stuff. I'm very private, very, very private. Also, I protect those that speak with me That's why I work off of referrals. I don't have a website. When I first started years ago, I had a website, but then now I just work off of referrals. And I was able to work that way for 30 years. So subscribe me, and again, schedule your reading. And also, you guys, again, figure out your number. You need to know your number. It's so important. So important. So okay. We're going to talk about a couple of things. Oh, and I know I have to work on my I have to work on my Facebook page, right? I started a divine intervention page. I see. It was so long ago. I don't remember the name. I know it is. It's going to be a great new year. It's going to be great for all of us. But some things may hurt because there were things that maybe should have been done last year when it was the 9 year. And in the 9 year, it's the end of a cycle. So that's when like you're re-examining things, whatever. You'd be like in a relationship and say, okay, I'm giving her one more chance. And it kind of was messed up and it bled into this year. Well, everything that happens is good. Don't get like panicked, whatever. But I do want to tell you this about procrastination. That's what I was saying, like with my Facebook page there. I do procrastinate, and I'm sure you procrastinate, but I believe everything happens for a reason. And I believe with the procrastination that subconsciously, and I found this to be very true, subconsciously, you know that you're not supposed to do that now. You'll know, but you won't know why. But you'll just keep procrastinating. And then you put yourself down because you still haven't gotten it done. And it's like, no, always for a reason. And you can even test it. When you procrastinate again, you're going to find like, oh my gosh, this is why I was supposed to put it off. Yes, always a reason why. So don't beat yourself up with that. And it kind of goes to, and I keep touching on The Secret and Little Miss Sunshine. Because again, procrastination, if you're not supposed to do it, then don't. But I want you to know it's a new year. I can say that I love the person I've become. You don't want to compare yourself to when you were in your younger days, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and oh, I miss that person. No. I mean, I felt like that before. I was like that too. It was like, oh, I was, no. You are a better version of yourself. And how do you become a better version of yourself? I know it sounds juvenile, but you guys, be kind. Kindness is most of the time is met with kindness. If somebody snaps, no, it's, I was talking to somebody about this and like she still wasn't gonna like really forgive, but it's like if somebody snaps at you or yells at you, it's not always because they have something against you. I'm sure like traffic and things, people don't even know who you are. But it could be somebody who just found out that, their wife was dying. Should they have taken it out on you? No. But it's okay to say, hey, are you okay? Because whenever I do that, I'll be like, hey, you all right? You want to talk? Never fails. Never fails. Because why? God will place people in your path who need you, and vice versa. Every person that you encounter in your life is either a teacher, a student, or both. It's school, you guys. We're in school. Enjoy school. Have fun with it. So if you didn't have like good memories in high school because you were bullied and stuff, whatever, okay. But this is school and you're an adult now. And, with kindness. Here's that. There's the thing on that there too. Kindness, so important. But it doesn't mean you're weak. Now, before, and recently before, I was the kind of person that, well, I recognize that this person is hurting. And, so I'm not gonna say how I feel. There's just a lot of people are like, they have boundaries and they have this and this and this, but they don't think about your boundaries or anything about you. It's all about them. And, I can be patient with that for a little bit. But if I decide then, you know what? This person is not ready. If this person is putting up boundaries and this and that, they are not ready to complete whatever they were supposed to be completing. Relationship, let's say even with me, they're not ready. So what you do then, you remove yourself from the situation. Never ever allow your kindness to be weakness. Never. Because there's a lot of people that'll be like so kind and so nice, but it turns into victimhood. Everybody's walking all over me. I have to do everything. No. Stop. Because then you're wearing the victim suit. And I can tell you, that's a very tight-fitting suit that we all wear at some points in our lives. Very tight-fitting suit. Everybody does that. Life, school, lessons. And so you learn how to do it. You learn to love yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to. But you also have to love other people. Or you have to love. It's nice. But respect other people. And then, but Janie, they don't respect me. Okay, so use like, an old person's thing. They jump off the building. You're going to jump off too? No. No. Just all you can do is be kind. Love yourself. Be kind. And when I say love yourself, don't let someone hit you. Nobody's allowed to hit you. Don't let somebody curse at you. Or if they do, call it a day, walk away. Because no one should be doing that to you. You guys, especially in relationships, but that's a whole nother topic. But anyways, so this year, new beginnings, okay? Yeah, they tell you you're not supposed to make New Year's resolutions because most of us ruin it by day 2. And that was true. But I'm not looking day to day. I'm looking at this year. I'm not looking because, I ate something on the 2nd of January that I wasn't supposed. No. I'm looking at the year. I'm looking at the year and the person I am today. I'm not trying to be the person that I was in my 30s. I don't want to go back. It was fun when I was back there, but it's not fun anymore. You guys, you got to change. There's a lot of people, they stay like in the same job. They live in the same house. They drive the same car. You guys, come on. Spice it up a little bit. You have to grow and evolve. Everything is also about, perfection exists only on the other side, but even not really then, because part of the main reason why we're here is for soul perfection. And no, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect here, because that's not going to happen. God gave you free will because you're going to make mistakes. I mean, that's like when you have a child. The child, while this child is growing and learning, this child's going to make mistakes. And if you think that he or she isn't, I wouldn't recommend having a child, right? But your father, and let's say you're the dad, you're the father, and you're like guiding this child. That's the same way. We have God. We have the guidance. You just have to be open to it. And I got to tell you, please, I'm not being judgmental. I'm really not. And that's something else too, you guys. If you have thoughts and feelings, it's okay to say them. As long as you're not like degrading somebody else. Keep it to yourself, about you. But, I hesitated for years. I always had God in my life, always. love Jesus, love my angels. Archangel Michael is my bestie, you know, but, and then it's funny, the people who say that they're Christians say I'm a horrible person and scary and because the sixth sense is the devil's work. The sixth sense, five senses, five, six. So why would God give you five senses and then this one sense that's your cell phone to God, that's your communication? That, explain it to me. It makes no sense. So like if you are brought up believing that, test it out. Test it out. Because your intuition is also your common sense. So, I mean, that means like you're saying the devil gave you common sense? That's kind of weird. A little weird. I'm hoping that's not true. Kidding. But no, seriously. Seriously. You gotta stop all that stuff. And that's why I say I'm a light worker, because I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. All I'm going to ask is be kind, and respect one another. So that's enough of that preaching for now. But as far as getting positive things in your life, you are on a path. It's a journey. Some of us believe it's predestined. Some of us believe that, like, when you get to a fork, you have a choice. And each one is obviously going to bring out a different outcome. But when you're on the right path, doors of opportunity open. Please hear me when I tell you that. When you're on the right path, you're always on the right path. You're always on the right path. But sometimes you can kind of like go off a little bit to the right or to the left. Or you're hearing that you have to do things. Because trust me, the repetitive thoughts mean something. When it's like, yeah, I should do this, I should do that. I should get, a new like CPA, whatever. It means something. The repetitive thoughts, pay attention. And then do it. And you will find good things happen. Miracles happen. That's how miracles happen. When you're going along in your path. Follow your dreams, your desires, your dreams. If you feel that you're supposed to go into medicine, hey, you want to be a nurse. You guys, I went in my 50s. Yeah, my 50s. So, and nobody was going to tell me. I mean, if they said it behind my back, I don't care. I don't really care. But still, I was ready to be a nurse then. Then I was ready. But no. I wasn't ready in my younger days. And I had no desire in my younger days. So age is a number. Here's the other thing. I always look at other cultures. And I always think, it's funny because I live with some Asian neighbors. And I would look out the window and they would be having a family meeting. And everybody's like sitting, like, on their feet and their legs. Your legs are bent and you're sitting there like crouched. I was like, and I'm looking, I'm like, some of these people are really elderly. So I learned a lot from that. And I said, you know what? I am always going to sit on the floor and get up. I'm going to always keep active. And it's true. I mean, now I have a part-time job as a nurse. And one of the things that I do is sit on the floor, because and practice makes perfect. These cultures, I'm telling you, they're right on it. If you do it, practice it. I mean, you just can't like stay and live as a couch potato and then, in your 60s, get up and expect you to be able to run down the road, and I say all this with love, no judgment, just love. Okay. Here's the other thing too. With The Secret, they talk about making vision boards and gosh, I'm really running late here. But anyway, they talk about vision boards and positive thoughts, positive thinking. I always believe in positivity, but I also know that I'm human. And there's days I'm like anybody, but that's okay. That's when I kind of stay away and I just watch movies. Because you guys, with those of us, which I'm sure you're included in this, that have like strong intuition, we go through spiritual spurts and they are not fun. You wake up in the morning and you like no one. You don't even like yourself. You guys, I have a weird sense of humor. And again, all with love. But no, seriously, you're going to find your patience is done and you're either going to be like snappy or you're going to be crying or the whole world's going to end. It's bad. This is it. Da-da-da. Okay. Spiritual growth alert. That means that you are advancing another spiritual level, which means when you're finished with this little spurt, your intuition is going to be so on point. You're going to love it. So just know it's a spiritual growth. Okay. So it takes between, I'm going to say 1.5, but they're showing me, and because it is mostly 2, it can take 2 to 4, depending on what level you're going. And when you arrive, you wake up that day, you feel wonderful. And your intuition is so strong, right on the money. You know, you could start having the kind of clairvoyant dreams where you're actually astral traveling and talking to your guides. It's awesome. And I recommend keeping a journal. Definitely keep a journal because it's amazing stuff. It's wonderful. The sleep paralysis too, don't be afraid of sleep paralysis. The sleep paralysis, it lasts, it's very quick. And it simply means your body, your soul leaves your body, okay? And you're out traveling, you're either on the other side visiting loved ones or you're over on here visiting people. You could even be checking locations out. You know what I mean? It's really cool. But what happens is your body awakens and the soul's not back. So for a lot of you, I know for me, sometimes I will feel like I'm going down a chute or like on an amusement park ride, like zoom. And it's like the spirit, your soul is going, hurry up, right back into your body. Now, when you wake up with the sleep paralysis, you can't talk. You can't move. The first time was like, oh my goodness, scary. Because you're thinking you're having a stroke because you can't move, you can't talk. It happens for a second. A second. So your body, your soul's back in your body and you're awake, but you go back to sleep. If it was a medical emergency for real, you would have called 911. You would have, as soon as your soul was back, you jump up and you would call 911. But see, spiritually, you know things. We all do. You all know things spiritually. You just have to pay attention. Have faith. Have faith, you know? Ask if you believe. Then you ask, you will receive. But you do things for everyone. You know what I mean? Because we're all connected, you guys. We're all connected. But anyway, so for The Secret, when people talk about the vision boards, I believe intuitively. Like when you cut out a card, let's say, I believe intuitively, you know you're going to get this car. You know it. But it's funny too, because with people that are just cutting out pictures, it's like they have no meaning in it. It's just like, yeah, I just did it for the board. But like if you ask them what's on that board, when they're not looking at it, they don't remember. The only reason I say that is people are saying with The Secret, if you write down what it is you truly desire, it's going to happen. It will happen. You just have to believe and write it down. Do vision boards, this and that, because it's, and the way the brain, blah, 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 blah. No, simple, make it simple. I like things simple. If you know intuitively, a lot of times you know things intuitively. That stuff's going to happen. But that's because it was kind of predestined. That's your plan. You wrote your plan before coming here. Yeah. So you'll get the stuff, but also, um, if, okay, if it's not meant to be, it's not going to be. It's just not. That's why I get a little upset when like they were going through The Secret, and I would like gladly debate. I would gladly debate those that are like writing this kind of stuff, because if you so believe and then it's not happening, then you, I guess, lose hope. But no. So look at The Secret. Everybody knows about that. And then look at the movie Little Miss Sunshine. Give you an example again. This is how God works with me. All of a sudden, I feel like they make me sick a lot. Make me tired. But yeah, they make me tired a lot, but not too tired to fall asleep. So I don't know. The Secret, it was all around. Everybody's talking about it. People are like making vision boards and saying, oh yes, just positive thinking, positive thinking. I'm sorry, but I'm human. I can't do positive thinking 24/7. There's days I don't want to be happy. That's my choice. So does that mean like all of my desires go down the tubes? But God had it so that I didn't feel good. And I lay down. I was like, oh, what's on TV? And it was Little Miss Sunshine. Little Miss Sunshine, if you guys are familiar with that. There was the little boy, I guess the son or the nephew. He wanted to be in the military, and he wanted to be a flight pilot. Okay? And he was basically saying to the whole family, I am not talking to you. I'm not going to have anything to do with this trip unless you agree that this is what I can do, because this is what I want to do. I wanted this with all my heart and soul. I want this. So what happens? He ends up being colorblind. So he couldn't get the position. I mean, obviously he can get something else, but that's what he had to have. And he wasn't going to talk to anybody unless they agreed for him to have that kind of position. But he was colorblind. So that's what I'm saying. If it's not meant to be, it's not going to be. So you don't beat yourself up because, something's not going to be. Something better will be there. So you guys, again, just live your life. Live your life. If you want to do something with a career, if you're stuck in your career and your marriage isn't good, focus on changing the career. I mean, especially if you can stand back and say, my spouse is my best friend, but we had this problem. Most of the time, it's the career that needs to be changed, not the spouse. So do something different. If you believe, everybody's going to discriminate against me, then they're going to, because you're putting that energy out there. And you're going to walk in for the interview like kind of detached, because in your head, you feel too old for this job. So you kill it with your thoughts. So see, with the negative thoughts, you can kill things with the negative thoughts. If it's meant to be, it'll be, but it'll be after you've like gone for 5 months and you're like, yeah, I'm not too old, after you change your way of thinking. So anyway, yeah. And I think, okay. Two final things. You guys ever heard of a pendulum? You can do this with a necklace even. But I used to teach this in my classes, because I used to teach at Hartford Community College about angels, spirit guides, the paranormal, and the life resume. Okay, so first you surround yourself with the white light of the Holy Spirit and ask for safety, okay? But you can ask, and I'm going to ask now because it's very active. I'm going to ask, okay, please show me a yes. Please show me how this is going to go if the answer is yes. How's the pendulum going to swing for a yes answer? Oops. And I don't look at it. I don't look at it. I look away. It looks like it's going to go back and forth. Okay, that's a yes. Okay. All right, then you stop it and say, okay, angels, what about a no? Give me a no. How's the pendulum gonna swing with no? Come on, my arm's getting tired. No, I'm kidding. It's starting to go back and forth. Ooh, now it's going in a circle. It's going in a circle. Okay, so, which way? Oh, now I'm confused because normally it goes in a circle is yes, and back and forth is no. Okay, but don't take this presentation. You can do it yourself. But with this, also, what I would say to the class is, okay, so yes was this way, right? Okay. So then I would say, okay, I'm wearing something that's tan. So I could say, so angels, am I wearing a green sweater? Is my sweater green? Now I'm going to look at it and I'm going to think, yes, 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 yes. See? See? Yes, yes, yes. That's why I don't look at it when I'm asking the question, because just by looking at this, you can change the direction. That just goes to show you how powerful you are. Seriously. So yeah, try it. It's really cool. I would do it like in my class and it was amazing because they were like, oh my gosh, how does that work? Mind over matter. So when you're not feeling good, and when somebody is rude, like if an ex or a boyfriend is rude, my thing is, look, I don't mind because you don't matter. And you go on your happy way. But one more thing. Angel therapy, I am using Doreen Virtue's Archangel cards. With angel therapy, this is Archangel Raphael. And it does say, give your cares and your worries to your angels and allow them to take your burdens. This year, try it. Talk to your divine family. Talk to them. Have a relationship with your angels. You guys, your angels will appear as they don't want you to be afraid. So if you don't believe that angels have wings, your angels that appear to you will not have wings. Seriously. So, but ask. But don't do this. Let's say that's kind of complicated to say. But when you ask someone for help, so when somebody's asking you for help, right? Then you say, okay, I'll take care of it. And I'll let you know as soon as it's done. And you're like, okay. But then the person's calling you, well, wait a minute, if you're going to do it that way, no, maybe you need to do it this way. Oh, you do it that way, it'll be better. Don't tell them how to go about to get the answer to help you. Trust them. Anyway, so thank you though for joining me. And for those of you that are doing rewatch, thank you very much. All of you are light workers. You know, you're all light workers and be proud of that. Continue to shine your light because your light also has sparkle. So on that notice, please hit the subscribe, like. Oh, and I was going to ask too about if you can put an angel emoji in the message, or better yet, put in there, I don't know, put in something that you're going to change this year. Or maybe I shouldn't ask. That's kind of a lot. The angel emoji is good. Either that or I know, put in a sign that you feel your angels give to you often. I can tell you right off the bat, hearts. And Archangel Michael is known for red hearts. Yeah, angels definitely. So with your grandkids, with your children, take them outside and say to them, okay, we're going to look for heart rocks. Okay? And then they're going to see heart rocks and tell them, this is your angel's way of saying I love you. I mean, and it's so cute too, because kids will find like in their nuggets, chicken nuggets, hearts, cookies, hearts, which they are there. And lots of times too in raindrops. So on that notice, thank you again for joining me. I love you guys. Happy New Year. How exciting. It's going to be fun. All right. Thank you.